Hello, everyone. I'm Shaneri Eze with Eze Health Center. We're here doing our live SculpSure treatment. We have Danielle here. For those that have viewed our last SculpSure treatment a few months back, we did our first treatment on Danielle on the lower abdomen. Basically, SculpSure is a fat reduction treatment, a non-invasive fat reduction treatment that helps us get rid of stubborn body fat without any surgery. Here at Eze Health Center, we do this as a service to really help our clients who have areas of stubborn body fat from the abdomen, the arms, the chin, as well as the thighs. So today we're going to be treating Danielle's abdominal again. We typically do 2 series of treatments. So we're going to get started. I already have Danielle kind of set up here. We treated her lower abdomen last time. If you've gone on our Facebook feed, you've probably seen her before and after photo. That's actually her preliminary photo. Very good results. So we're going to go ahead and treat her lower abdomen again for even more enhanced reduction. All right. We're also going to be taking any questions anyone may have. So definitely just put your question in the chat and then we'll be able to answer it during this session. All right, Danielle, you ready?
Ma'am.
Okay, so we've got all of our laser heads intact. Want to just make sure they're all green. All right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So Danielle, you've done this before, but I'm still going to kind of walk through what's going on here. So SculpSure uses laser heat to destroy fat cells underneath the skin. It is what we call a non-invasive treatment, meaning I don't have to do any cuts, no insertions on the skin, and also no anesthesia. And the advantage of that is that there's no downtime, no recovery time that's required, and then it's very low risk. So what we're doing now, the first 4 minutes of the treatment, is what we call our build-up phase. The lasers are slowly heating up those fat cells, and over time, as those fat cells heat up, they are destroyed. Okay. How does it feel?
Cool to warm.
Cool to warm, right? Yeah. So during the treatment, you are going to feel kind of phases of heat followed by cooling. So it kind of happens in waves, kind of a heating or pressure sensation, and then a cooling, kind of a release sensation. It's very tolerable. I usually don't need to use any anesthesia. I have clients who are typically on their phones during their treatments or even fall asleep. So definitely a very different type of experience, but everyone kind of responds to it differently. Okay. So these first 4 minutes, we are slowly heating up those fat cells. And it feels kind of like a tingling sensation. Is that how you would, a very mild heat starting off? Yeah. So I've had the treatment myself a couple of times, so kind of familiar with how it feels. So the question that I get a lot is, okay, we're heating up those fat cells. What happens to them? So basically, when the laser is precisely calibrated for the heat to target the water in the fat cells. Once that water heats up in the fat cells, that's how they are destroyed. Over time, those fat cells will dissolve in your body. Your lymphatic system absorbs it and it eliminates it through your urine. So you're basically going to pee out the dead fat cells. The advantage of that is it's non-surgical. So we're not having to do anything invasive, not having to put her under anesthesia or put her under for any period of time while this process is happening. We're basically using your body's natural mechanisms to help eliminate these fat cells and flush it out your system. It's about 2015. It's a newer technology. We now call it WarmSculpting. I'm sure some of you are familiar with pool sculpting. which uses cold and suction. This actually uses heat. So we will call this warm sculpting. The advantage of using heat as opposed to cold is that heat isn't going to be as traumatic to the body. You're not going to have any nerve damage or any tenting or disfigurement of the skin that may happen with the cool sculpting. A lot of our clients, respond very well. You're not going to have any marks or discoloration on your skin after your treatment. Now, as far as how long, this process takes, it's about 4 to 6 weeks to start seeing results. And then typically final results at 12 weeks. All right, so we are past our build-up phase. How are you feeling?
Okay.
Pretty good? Okay. So you should feel a little bit of cooling. And then afterwards, we're going to get back to those, waves of the heat and cooling. So if there's anyone in the audience, anyone tuning in, if you have any questions at all, just type it in the chat window and we'll be sure to answer it before we end our session today. So like I mentioned, SculpSure is a newer technology. It's been out since 2015. We started offering the procedure back in 2017. As some of you know, I run a medical weight loss program here. And one of the reasons I brought on SculpSure was a lot of my clients, after, losing a significant amount of weight, had areas on their body that just wasn't going down or reducing the way they would like it to. So rather than seeking surgical, right? Some people were a little antsy about doing surgery. We wanted to kind of discover what are the best non-invasive options there were. After doing my research, I found that SculpSure was definitely a good fit. It's a newer technology, one of the newest technologies in what we call non-invasive body contouring. And because of that, this is why I chose to start doing these treatments. I'm also a SculpSure client myself. If you go on our website, you'll see my own before and after photos. As probably most mothers out there, after having a couple of kids, your body starts to change. And then there's areas on the body that just aren't as easy to snap back like, like when you're younger. So this I find has been very effective for a lot of my patients who, lost all this weight on our program and then still had certain areas that they wanted to reduce, but didn't want to go the surgical route. We've been doing SculpSure now for about, all right, we're about to get it kind of revved back up here. Sorry about that. So we've been doing SculpSure, like I mentioned, since 2017, and we've done over 200 procedures with about a 95% success rate. So a lot of people respond very well to it. If you get the treatment, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see some changes in results. How are you feeling, Danielle?
I'm doing good.
Pretty good? Okay. So we're slowly going to, as your body gets accustomed to that heat, we're slowly going to increase it, and then we're going to kind of maximize the fat reduction there.
All right, bring it on.
Bring it on. All right now. So, I get this question a lot from a lot of people. Oh, how does it feel? Does it hurt? Like I mentioned before, everyone has a different tolerance level. I've done, like I mentioned, over 200 of these. I've never had to stop a procedure. Pretty much every client is able to tolerate it all the way through. Everyone has a different tolerance level. I get some clients who literally fall asleep during their treatment. A lot are on their phone or reading a magazine. So, there's times where it might feel a little uncomfortable, but it lasts a couple of seconds and then it goes away. All right. So we're about 10 minutes into her procedure. So the total time is roughly about 25 minutes. So it's not a very long, prolonged treatment. We're usually in and out before people realize it. So not too bad at all. Okay. All right. So, SculpSure is typically offered in a lot of medical practices. What's unique about SculpSure as a health center is that because I do medical weight loss, I do combine elements of our weight loss program along with it. Meaning that, we're helping you reduce stubborn body fat, but also helping you, assist to lose additional weight. Of course, lose a little weight along with the targeted fat loss, you get results. So we incorporate things like our B12 lipotropic shots, appetite suppressants, and nutrition guidance. And all of that is included with your SculpSure treatment at no additional cost. Yeah. So Danielle, she's been a patient with us on the SA Wellness and Weight Loss program, and I believe this was soon after the birth of her son. And she lost about 20. Well, it was more than that. How much weight? 36 pounds. She lost 36 pounds in our weight loss program. And then she came to me and said, okay, well, let's see what we can do about these certain areas. And that's when we went ahead and got her started on her SculpSure treatment. So she did her treatment. It's been about 3 months since her first treatment. We're going to go ahead and we're doing her second treatment on the same area. Most patients will require at least 2 series of treatments to get solid results. However, you're going to even after the first treatment, okay? At least 6 weeks. All right. Feel okay? All right. So you just let me know. If it gets a little intense, just let me know. I can also add a little bit of cooling to make it a little bit more comfortable for the clients when they get the treatment, just in case it gets a little bit too intense. All right, looks like we're doing pretty good. Almost at the halfway point. And like I mentioned, with SculpSure, basically anywhere that there is what we would call subcutaneous body fat, basically body fat that jiggles and that we can pinch, that's what can be treated with the SculpSure treatment. So I would say a good 80% of my clients come in wanting their abdomen done, their waist done, as well as the what we would call bra roll or back fat area done as well. But in addition to that, we can also do the chin, the arms, as well as the thighs. Now, in some cases, I've done a few unusual areas on a couple of folks who had some concerns. For instance, I had a client who stated she always had chunky knees. So I actually was able to treat the fat around her knee area. Another client had kind of fat area under her arms that she wanted treated. We were able to treat that as well. So yeah, anywhere it's jiggly, anywhere we can pinch fat, that's what we can treat with the SculpSure. All right, you're doing great, Danielle. So how would you describe how it feels?
This time it's a little bit more, I can feel it a little more, but it's still not anything that's going to make me cry or jump off the table, or I don't need any pain meds or anything like that. It's just kind of like a tingly, tightening type of warm pool, but nothing intense at all.
Yeah, so that's how I describe it too. And I was telling her before we started that, now that there's less fat tissue there compared to before, it's going to feel a little different. And that's a good sign. That means something was lost.
Yeah.
So another question that I get is, okay, how do you know it really works? So besides the fact that you're going to look different, 4 weeks or 6 weeks after your treatment, we also do what's called a full body composition analysis. So this is important. We use the InBody body composition analyzer, And what it does is it gives me segmental fat analysis, meaning it measures, it's a special scale that measures how much body fat that you're carrying in each area of the body. So it separates the arms, the torso, and the legs. When I do the when you come in for your first treatment, we do a body composition analysis before we start. We want to see and measure how many pounds in body fat you're carrying in the area that we're treating. That way, once we do your treatment, and then 6 weeks later, when you come back for your second treatment, we do that analysis again. And if the numbers go down, that's how we confirm that the treatment worked. There's no way to kind of trick or get around that. The numbers say what they say, and the analyzer will let us know how well the treatment worked. Now, everyone's variable as far as their results. I would say with treatment, we may see anywhere between a half a pound to a pound of body fat or more after a single treatment. Of course, that's variable, but our average client overall with the SculpSure treatments, which the process is about 3 months, it can range anywhere between 5 to 20 pounds of weight loss overall. Okay. But the body fat is what we're targeting, and that's what we can actually measure with your body composition. The other thing we do also is a before and after photo. So we do progress photos at every angle of the areas that we treat. So that way I can show you what you look like before and what you look like after each treatment. And usually people are pleasantly surprised at how well it works.
I was shocked.
Yes. I know Danielle, when she came in for her second analysis, I think last time, she was like, I don't know how it's going to look, I've noticed a little change, but I'm not sure. And, I pulled up the pictures and I immediately emailed it to her. And I was like, look, Danielle, see?
Wow.
Pretty impressive changes. And I think that was like 6 weeks.
I don't even know if it was quite
up to 6 weeks. I think
it was that much.
Yeah. I think it was like 4 weeks or so. So it wasn't that long between the treatment. And keep in mind, it takes 12 weeks to see the final changes. So it's almost like you're slowly shrinking over time. All right. So I've actually got you on the maximum level. How do you feel? Pretty good? Awesome. Still those waves of cooling and heat? Yeah? Okay. Very good.
Your scale, it holds people accountable too, because it sends the messages to your phone. You have the app, and it really makes me look, because if you see that chart going up and down, you're like, no, you want to keep going down. So that really helps me too.
Absolutely, yeah. So a lot of my clients really like the feature of our in-body body composition analyzer. It actually has an app that basically every time we measure you on the analyzer, your results go straight to your phone. So you can actually monitor your progress over time. So we essentially do that with the SculpSure treatment. We do that each time you come in for the treatment. For our weight loss plan, we do that with every visit on a weekly basis. So I know Danielle's been coming in for the lipo shots as well on a weekly basis. So each time we do her measurements, and she's seeing how she's progressing.
It really makes a big difference.
Right.
You have a visual, and you have it right in your phone. You see, okay, you need to stay on track.
Right, yeah.
Versus out of sight, out of mind.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That accountability is so important. And even that's kind of part of the success with our weight loss program. Our wellness and weight loss program here It is medical weight loss. We incorporate the basics of weight loss, right? Diet and exercise, but also incorporating tools like the B12 or lipotropic injections, supplements, and appetite suppressants. But one feature that really helps, and that goes with any type of weight loss program, is the accountability. I'm seeing my clients on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. You're getting guidance on what you need to do, how you need to modify. We want to see healthy but gradual weight loss, and a focus on excess body fat reduction. It's not enough to say, oh, you lost weight, if most of that weight was water weight, which fluctuates up and down, or if it's muscle loss, which is the wrong way to lose weight. Our focus is excess body fat reduction. Okay. And same with the SculpSure as well. We're not, getting rid of water weight. We're getting rid of actual body fat. Awesome. So we're kind of at the last segment here. You're doing great. So another thing to keep in mind with SculpSure, once we destroy the fat cells and they're eliminated from your body, they're gone forever. So this is a permanent treatment. Let me say that again. It is a permanent fat reduction treatment. The fat cells will not come back. Now, of course, when we're treating an area, we're not getting rid of all the fat, but we could be destroying up to 25% of the fat cells per treatment. So significant number of fat cells, a noticeable number, a noticeable fat reduction. You're gonna look different in your clothes. You're gonna look different in your shirts and blouses. You're gonna lose some inches. Keep in mind, okay, I always tell my clients, when you start the SculpSure treatment, we really want to maintain, at the very least, maintain your weight. Even better for us to decrease it even more, okay? So my average client, again, who does my SculpSure treatment, anywhere between 5 to 20 pounds of weight loss within that 3-month or so time frame of treatment. Or I say a 3-month process. So we got about 5 minutes left. Feeling okay?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, usually the first treatment, folks are a little anxious, but typically by the second treatment, you kind of know what to expect and can pull through. So, Danielle, if I can ask, how much weight did you lose? Any weight between your last treatment 6 weeks ago and today?
Yeah, I think that from the last time to now, it's probably like 6 pounds or so.
About 6 pounds down?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So we'll do her body composition after this treatment. And we'll also do her photos today too. So each time you do a treatment, we do a body composition and photos. So yeah, we'll see your segmental analysis too. So that way we can see how much in body fat you lost just in that area, which is always helpful. It's always neat to know, like,
And I see a difference.
And you see a difference, yeah. So SculpSure, it's such a gradual treatment. People notice the changes, over time, and are usually surprised about how dramatic the change is once they see the before and after. The one reaction I always get is, "I look like that before," because they don't realize, how they've changed over time. So it's always pretty exciting to see it. Yeah, yeah. So I think the thing that's just so awesome about this treatment is that after my clients do no downtime, nothing that they need to kind of sit home and recover from, literally you can go on about your day. I know the last time I had my treatment, my own treatment, I literally did it during my lunch break, 30 minutes. I, saw patients right after my treatment, so it was nothing that I needed to, take any downtime for, which is awesome. That's, most of us are very busy, got a lot going on, especially now we're working from home. We got the kids home, a lot going on. No one has the time to sit and have to recover or take any downtime after doing a procedure. So this is what's so awesome about the SculpSure. All right, we are almost done, my dear. A few more sessions here. So after we're done, we'll do the body composition analysis. Danielle's going to get a copy of her body composition too, so she can actually see how much body fat she's lost since her last treatment. And then you also get it on your phone. So. So it should be cooling down. All right, and we are done. Okay, so we're going to take off the laser head. And as you can see here, all right, so I want you to feel your skin. How does it feel? Cool to touch? Yeah, yeah. So it's not like it's flaming hot. Might feel a little warmth underneath the skin, but it's typically cool to touch because of that cooling sensation. Now, after the treatment, it's not unusual to start feeling little areas that are firm underneath the skin. Those are those dead fat cells that were destroyed during the treatment. Those dissolve and be eliminated from your system over time. Okay. All right. Were there any questions in the chat? All right. Well, thanks, guys, so much for joining us for our second SculpSure treatment of the year. And thank you, Danielle, for doing the treatment with us today. Great. Take care, everybody. Bye.